In 2024, what is the way to pass the IELTS examination with a whopping 9 band with all the new strategies? What are the mistakes that needs to be avoided? What are the new things that need to be adopted? What are the new habits that need to be taken into consideration? Each and everything in this video, all you got to do is make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul from Skills IELTS. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another video on how to pass your IELTS exam in 2024. Before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can WhatsApp us to the number appearing at the bottom of the screen. Let's say you need one-to-one feedback for your write-ups, you need one-to-one speaking classes, mocks, or reading and listening, you're free to text us. I'll be there, we will be there to help you, guide you in the right direction. Alright, without further delay, let's straight away get into the video. Let me just share my screen. How to pass IELTS in 2024. Well, see, there are varied strategies. So today I'll be discussing the important ones as to what people usually miss out on and what people actually should consider. So let's start with speaking and then writing, reading and listening. Let's start with speaking. Always understand, at least in 2024, that it's not what you speak, it's rather how you speak. Remember this holds a very great importance on your IELTS speaking score, because the content is not at all given any priority, meaning you cannot speak anything that you wish. Definitely yes, you need to speak to the question because it's a human sitting on the other side. But even if you go with not so great idea, it's still fine. That means this kidney, right, this brain, this Einstein's brain, you don't have to give its capacity completely to focus on what you speak. You can give 10% of its capacity to focus on the content. Let's say they asked you a question. How is the temperature like at your place? Temperature is like this. What shall I say? You don't have to think. I can say temperature is mild. And now focus on how to speak that mild. Hope you are getting it. So it's how you speak, meaning fluency, pronunciation, coherence, cohesion, vocabulary, grammar. These 5. Where is the content? Content is not written at all in the IELTS score guide for speaking. Give it a thought. So this is the new practice. When you practice, you make sure consciously that 10% of your Einstein's brain capacity you need to give towards the ideas. The rest 90% is towards the fluency. Right now I'm talking to you, so I'm not prepared for this. I'm just talking. I'm just continuously speaking with a rhythm, naturally spoken English, correct? This is how you should sound when you speak in front of the examiner. First thing. Second thing, coherence, cohesion is a narration, main idea, some supporting idea, example. That's how you narrate the story. How is the temperature like? Temperature is very good in my place. No, you have to continue. Temperature is very good at my place. Even in fact, recently one of my friends visited from North India and said the temperature here is wonderful and almost remains the same throughout the year. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people migrate to South India, especially Bangalore, and stay here for its wonderful temperature. See, it's the same that I'm telling, but I'm just revolving around by leaving the information bit by bit, bit by bit. That's the coherence cohesion, and I was fluent. And grammar wise, I use simple, compound, complex sentences. And vocabulary wise, I was decent enough. That is enough for an 8 band. Did I fumble? No. Did I give multiple pauses? No. Did I stutter? No. Did I rush? No. Did I show any signs of nervousness? No. I was very confident in my speech. That is required compared to the right ideas, the great amount of ideas that I need to think of. Give it a thought. This makes a huge difference towards your speaking score. So from today, whenever you start practicing, make sure to consider these points and change your practice. See, remember, the logic is very simple. What if every day you practice mathematics by assuming or by believing 1 plus 1 is equal to 3? Will you ever be able to solve a bigger mathematical problem? Give it a thought. I think that sums up for speaking. Let's move on to writing. How do you pass writing with a whopping 7 or 7.48 band in 2024? Yes, task response is the key. Here you need to give this Einstein's brain complete effort towards identifying the right ideas, because task response is very important. They asked you a question, understand what is asked, what has to be produced, done and dusted. This should be done within 1 minute, but after that, should I start writing? No, it's again now how you represent the points. I am talking about essay. See, 90% of the people don't have problems in letter writing or the image description. The problem is essay. Why? Because in letter writing, what has to be written is already given in terms of bulletin points. 3 bulletin points. In the image only is given. You just have to check or watch the image and just jot down the points or write it down. How about essay? Nothing is given except the question. You have some idea, but you don't have the picture of it. You don't have the bulletin points. Like the letter writing or the picture kind of thing in describing me. So, what should I do here? Once I get to know, okay, this is what I am going to write. Get the picture. That is the coherence cohesion. When you watch a movie, it's the director's job to narrate you the story step by step by showing things in sequence. That is screenplay. Here, that screenplay has to be predetermined before you start writing. Remember this in 2024, this is the crucial thing. Before you start writing, get the complete picture, This is what I am going to write in the first line, which is the main idea. Have one sentence, firstly, on one hand, second paragraph, that is body paragraph 1, first line. Never reiterate the same from the question, never do that. Have the main idea in the first line, second line. This is because have a supporting point in 1 or 2 sentences. All this you need to think of before you start writing. You need to get the picture. Okay, in my picture, this is what I write in the first line. Oh, this is what I will write in second line and third line. Then example comes. This is the scenario that I am going to explain in the example, but what people end up doing. Main idea 1 line, supporting idea 1 line, or sometimes no supporting idea. Example 1 sentence, done and dusted. That is going to give you 6.5. Are you happy with it? Then it's okay. No need to watch this video. Now I need 7. Then it's crucial you understand this. Example is an instance. How can you explain or describe an instance in 1 line? Well, that's called concise writing, but it's so difficult. You lack clarity. When you write that, you don't convey things the way it should be. You convey in a way that you leave some part of it to the imagination of the examiner. Write more. Example, for instance, 2 or 3 sentences, meaning 2 or 3 full stops should be there. Before that, this is because 1 or 2 full stops should be there, and then firstly 1 full stop should be there. When you have this in place, but before that, to have this in place, here this should be in place, meaning here you should see that picture. You should see that picture. For example, simple question I am going to narrate and then we move on to the reading module. Law changes human behavior. Agree, disagree. Let's say I agree. Second paragraph now. Law changes human behavior. Yes. Law will, put them some fine. Let's say, yes, law will have some rules and regulations. Because of that, people fear. Okay, I will start with it. No. Get more clarity. What example can I give? For example, drunk and drive law. Or, okay, drunk and drive law is a simple example that I am gonna think before I start writing. What should I write for this drunk and drive law? Drunk and drive law says 6 months of imprisonment. Probably this will definitely put fear, and with that fear, people will stop driving after drinking. This is changing their behavior. This much clarity I got. I am actually seeing someone going in a motorbike, drinking, and police stopping them and putting them behind the bar. So, this puts a fear for other people. As a result, their character, their behavior changes. See, now I have the complete understanding. I have the clarity basically. Then I start writing. Within 3-4 minutes or 5 minutes, if your typing speed is good or if your writing speed is good, within 5 minutes now we can finish it off. Problem is people do not have this clarity, and they try to get this clarity when they start writing. That's the bigger problem. It's all simple things psychologically. When you understand them, IELTS writing is very easy. These are the real problems. You know everything, but still you will not be able to get the score. The reality. At least in 2024, I really want to make a difference. I really hope people who are watching this video understand this with utmost importance. and start incorporating these things in your daily practice, so that in your exam it becomes quite easy for you to get that 8 bands, isn't it? Let's quickly move on to the reading module. Sorry, listening. Let's go with the listening and then go to reading. Okay. So, in the listening, the part 1, the section 1 is very easy, I hope, for everybody. If it's not, then the problem is the spelling. You need to learn the spellings. Log into some apps, download some spelling tests and just work on it. Should be done. The section 2 and the section 3. Section 4 is also easy at the same time. Section 2 and section 3 is where this map and MCQs really trouble a lot of students. So, how to tackle them in 2024? Maps, let's talk about maps. So, use your finger to glide. There is a map. They are going to say across is this, in front is this, underneath, above, south direction, east direction, west direction, southwest, northeast. All this learn in advance. Know these terminologies. Entire map will be based on this, but a bit quicker. This cannot be slower. This also has to react quicker. So, accordingly, when you practice based on these terminologies, it becomes very easy to glide and you would know where is what. That is about maps. This MCQs is the tricky part, because we are not used to doing 2 things at once. Let us say I am now eating my breakfast and talking. What is going to happen? Perhaps I am going to bite my tongue, because doing 2 things at once, I am not saying it is impossible, it is quite challenging, because we are not used to doing them on an everyday basis. So, in MCQs, they have the audio and they have big questions, man. 2-line question and then 4-5 lines options, they are also big. When can I read? How to listen? When to read? That is the problem, meaning you should listen and read at the same time. This is the difficult part, or the toughest part, meaning listening skill and reading skills being tested. Though it gives marks only to listening, supposedly it should contribute marks to the reading as well. But sadly, IELTS is already structured in this way that listening MCQs contribute marks to listening alone, but test your reading skills. Then what should I do? Improve your reading skills. When they play an audio, in the beginning, at least for 10-15 seconds, they are giving some introduction. Don't listen. Close your ears and start reading things, start reading things, start reading things. And once the story starts, this is where you should divide the time. Probably for 5 seconds, I listen, and for 2-3 seconds I keep reading, then listening, reading. That means you should probably do them together. There are some keywords in the question. Identify them and know what is what. In the question, this is what is required. When I listen, when I get that, I will just quickly validate and read. Means you should read quicker. You should listen and read at the same time, probably in some scenarios. That means we need to practice in a way that tests are 2 skills, listening and reading at the same time, isn't it so? When you do that, this becomes easy. What is that test called? There is a game called Dual and Back, DUAL hyphen N. N represents level 1, 2, 3 and so on. Hyphen back, BACK. Dual and Back you download. It's a game, it's a brain game, scientifically proven to increase your IQ. It can enhance your listening and reading skills quickly, because they're going to make you listen to some sound. At the same time, they're going to show you something. So, you have to, make sure you work on this and this at the same time. Listening and reading, it's a beautiful app, beautiful game, helps you fix this MCQ problem. In 2024, I would want everyone who is watching this video, focus on this Dual and Back game if you have problems in MCQs. Alright, let's quickly move on to the reading module. Yes, in reading, match heading and information matching are the difficult ones. Match heading and information matching, most of it is about matching, finding the information basically. Even in match heading, you have to find the summary. Match heading, sometimes you can try your luck and don't read the entire paragraph, because you need to match the heading. The summary of it will usually be present in the first 2 lines or the last 2 lines. So, just try your luck and read the first 2 and quickly move on to the last 2. If you could find the summary, if you could find any of the paragraphs that is heading matching, that is the answer. If at all you are not still getting confused, then you may need to read. And to read, you need to read faster. For that, you need the reading skills. What is the reading skill? Whatever you read, you understand. You need to read faster. You need to apply skimming and scanning techniques. Skimming is a technique wherein you get most of the information at a very short interval of time, meaning you just skim, you don't read one by word by word. Let's say there are some prepositions, you don't look at them, off, in, on, at, though, sorry, through, across. There are some articles, you don't look at them. There are some words which don't fit in to the paragraph, which do not bring a lot of importance, you skip them. You just skim quickly. Let's say one line, it takes 10 seconds for you to read. In skimming technique, you read that one line in 3 seconds and still get the same amount of knowledge. Same as when you read full. That's a skimming technique. Now this has to be mastered. Skimming is required for the match heading. Information matching is all about scanning. Information matching, you have some information, this information, where is it in the entire paragraph? This information I am going to keep it here, and when I read, I only look out for this information. I don't skim or something, I scan for this information. Let's say this is my phone and I really don't know where I threw my phone. I have thrown my phone somewhere. Let's say I am blindfolded, I just threw it somewhere. Now I need to find my phone. How do I find my phone? I'll put up, this cupcake picture in my mind and think of phone. No, I keep the phone picture in my mind. Unconsciously this is happening because we have seen the picture of my phone, correct? So this picture is what I will be scanning for. That's exactly what you should do in the information matching. If you only look out for that information, if you scan only for that information, you do it quickly. Instead, people end up reading full. That's where it consumes a lot of time, that's where it builds pressure and ends up making you a lot of mistakes, make you do a lot of mistakes. So this is the problems. The solutions I have already given on top of that. For better marks and to get that 8 bands in reading, listening, writing, speaking in all the modules. There's one more hobby that I would like to request you to inculcate, that's called reading a novel or reading a newspaper. Trust me, this builds more confidence, helps you get acquainted with a lot of vocabularies. Your speed of reading improves. Reading problem solved, listening problem solved. You gain more knowledge in terms of adding content into your brain. Writing and speaking problem solved, because writing and speaking you need something to speak, but here what if it is empty? When the bucket is full with water, you can distribute the water to others, isn't it? When the bucket is not filled at all, how do you distribute the water to others? Same thing in speaking. If you want to talk for few minutes, you need to have the data. But it could be a random data, but when you read books, you pour in a lot of data. As a result, you will be able to speak. Just now I am speaking, right, the same way. I have the clarity, I have the knowledge about the things that I am talking about. What if you have the knowledge about the same thing? You will also will do. Writing, you also will write. Read books or read a novel. Especially reading a newspaper is enough every day for 1 hour, at least in 2024. If at all you are maintaining a diary or something, in today's page you write, read a book every day for 1 hour. That going to bring a lot of changes in you and in your life as well. Fine, that's it for today. Really hope I've made informative content. If you really like the video, leave your appreciation with a thumbs up and subscribe this channel if you want more updates, something like this. Fine guys, this is Nakul signing off from Skills. Soon I'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye bye.